Hi guys, welcome back to the garage. It's early May, very early May. Spring has sprung. We did have some light snow showers yesterday, but hey ho, can't have everything I suppose. And I did promise you that we would start expanding outwards from the garage a bit, and this is where we're going to start with an introduction to a member of the fleet that you haven't seen yet. You've seen my interest in them, but not the actual car. So today we're going to be looking at my 2CV, which I've just taxed and is ready to be cleaned up and put back on the road. So let's go and have a look. Right, now under the bonnet, I had changed the oil before I laid it up because it's never good to leave them sitting with dirty old oil in. It's acidic and unpleasant. And the only thing I noticed when I did start up was it was reluctant, not unexpectedly. I suspect my fuel pump is draining back, which is not unusual. But then I noticed fuel spurting out of one of the fuel lines, which had been fine when it went away and had clearly developed a crack while sitting in storage. A modern petrol pipe doesn't seem to be very long lasting. I know the fuel's quite aggressive now, which probably explains it. Something to check, definitely. So at some point in the very near future, I'll be getting underneath and checking the front to rear, and we may have to drop the tank and replace the small piece that goes from the tank to the main fuel line. Now, it started up fine, coming out of storage. No problems at all apart from the petrol pump. It smoked a little bit. I suspect the valve guides are less than perfect on this car. The seals are relatively new, so it might be the guides. I don't know. But for the minute, I will be doing nothing about it. I've checked the brake fluid level, all that sort of stuff. And the only thing really under the bonnet, which I think I'm going to have to deal with, well, no, I'm going to have to deal with very shortly, and we will do a video on, is my bulkhead rubber where the gear lever goes through. And the bulkhead is slightly deformed and the rubber's just fallen apart. So I'm going to have to do one of them, which is nothing big, but definitely something that needs sorting out. And then if we go to the rear, we have another rubber problem. Let me just wander down there. Now again, this is another problem I've had many times over the years, and that's that this rubber no longer wants to fit in the hole. Now I suspect the hole in this wing is slightly wrong. I suspect it's an aftermarket wing. Yeah, so that's not very good. As you can see, it shouldn't be like that. And also, part of the problem, I think, is where this joins the petrol tank, there's an expanding sleeve where it goes from a small metal pipe into a larger petrol tank. And it's rock hard. I mean, really, really bad. So I'll change that. And also, before this was laid up, I had problems with petrol blowing back, which I've never ever had on a 2CV before. So I'm going to have to take this off, the pipe off, and check the breather pipe, which is built into the main pipe, just to make sure it's not blocked. If it isn't blocked, I really have no idea what's going on, because it can be quite violent. And I don't imagine petrol pumps are any quicker now than they were a few years ago. They normally slow down with the increase in price, so as not to terrify everyone. But anyway, that definitely needs looking at. So that's another little job. All the lights work. And then there's another couple of little things that need looking at inside. So we'll move on to there next. Right, guys. We're back on the road. First impressions again. Well, it's good to be back in a 2CV. That's the main thing. It does seem very slightly flat, but I'm still running on the petrol, which is in it from before it being laid up. Now, that makes it at least 6 months old. And because of lockdown, it wasn't used very much before that. So I can't, in all honesty, remember how old this petrol is. I suspect at least 9 months old. So that won't be helping. The carburettor that's on it is brand new. It's a brand new Solex. It's actually one designed for a car with a centrifugal clutch. But I've disabled the damper mechanism on the pot. So it should now function exactly like a normal early double choke carb. It might benefit from jetting up. ECAS have got details on the website, and that's who I'll get the jet from. It just helps because of the lower volatility, I think, of the modern fuel. So anyway, I think I might go for one of those. The steering initially felt slightly heavy, and I must confess I forgot to check the tyre pressures. It has loosened up slightly, which makes me think the kingpins need a damn good grease, which I was going to do anyway, and the knife edges. The back brakes were slightly groany for the first few applications, but that's gone now. And the front brakes feel dead, but that's nothing to do with it having been laid up. They were dead before because I've got a set of French-made brake pads, and I'm regretting the purchase. They may be greener, but so far they're nowhere near as good as the old Valeo ABEX type pads. I'll give them a bit more time to bed in, because again they haven't done a great amount of mileage, and we'll just have to see if they get any better, but at the moment they feel wooden. Right, there we are. She's got 68,510 on the clock. That could quite easily be 168,000, 268,000. I've no way of knowing, and I don't really care. You just got to deal with what you've got when it comes to an old car. The interior is frankly a bit of a mess. The seats are not bad, but the door trim are dirty, need cleaning. The trim over the top needs sorting out. It just needs a really good cleaning going through, which I never got round to last year. So let's show you the outside while we're here. So there she is in all her glory. A tidy car. It's had floors done, sills done, bulkhead. Rear seat belt mounts, repairs to the rear seat box, all the usual stuff really. I rebuilt the steering rack. Kingpins were done. Track rod ends, had new ones of those. Trying to make it a tidy, usable car really. It's never going to win any awards, that's for sure. And it is, of course, just a red special, which are probably the least desirable of all the 2CV variants. Anyway, there she is. You're going to be seeing lots more of her in the coming weeks as I work my way through all the bits that need doing to try and make it slightly better. Anyway, back we go to the garage. I'll see you back there.